Welcome to Mornings with Marvel, where authenticity lives and thrives to create a space of growth, healing, and joy. I am your host, Andrea Lawful Sanders, and each day we will cover the topics that are informative and engaging while learning from each other. Good morning. It is January 29th. Woo, 2026. One whole month of the year of 2026 is now almost gone. There's a cold advisory in many parts of the country. And this weekend, it's going all the way down to Florida, where it will feel like 20 degrees. Actually, it's going lower than Florida. In Jamaica on Saturday, it will be a balmy 47 degrees. So, if you're leaving the Northeast to go run off to find sunshine and warm air, just know Mother Nature and the way we have treated this earth has become a thing for us where we are just suffering wherever we go. I am grateful that you all chose to spend another day with us. Please like and subscribe this show. People keep fussing with me that I don't do it. I just am so busy talking to you, so busy trying to figure out how to support whatever it is that we're doing right now. And so today is Love Is. It's the Love Is segment. We always find a day in the week where we have some levity and some brevity. Sharice Ifax will be on with us somewhere between 6:45 and 7, depending on what she's doing. I need to talk to her about her husband plowing, in Jersey in the last several days, and probably in other places, where gets the salt and he does all of this plowing of the snow. And I'm so proud of him because as an entrepreneur, proud of them, but I'm also proud of him because we hear so many conversations about black men ain't this and black men ain't that and black men can't do this, and they're just all over the place. And I've had the opportunity to witness some of that posturing and peacocking. But this brother right here co-owns a restaurant with his wife, has other business dealings that he does. So he doesn't just have one source of income. He kind of reminds me of an immigrant, right? Like a Jamaican who's just out there going, I got 7 jobs, man. I would sleep when I did, kind of thing. He really pushes himself, and as a direct result, has been a market example of what is possible and what our brothers are out here doing, not just as a husband, but as an entrepreneur and as a father. We tend to expect perfection from our men. I don't know where that came from. And as far as I can tell, it's not a perfect soul on this planet. But for some reason, with our brothers, our black men, our men of color, there seems to be this conversation that we're supposed to be perfect and we can't have a down day and they can't, show emotion and they can't, you name the things here, right? So one of the things I want you all to hold me to, and I know Marguerite and Laura and the group that are here every morning, and Andrea, Robin, Manny, all of you that are here, Viola, every time I say the word right, I have to put 5 cents in a jar or a nickel or a dime, or so I'm going to get a bunch of coins and I'm going to put it next to me. And every time I say the word right when I'm talking to you, like I say, oh, no, right? I need to get that out of my lexicon. So I need you all to hold me accountable. So I'm going to start tomorrow morning. I'm going to put the coins here, put the jar over here. And every time I use that the word right, until I get it out of my lexicon when I'm speaking to you, we just got to figure, I need somebody to hold me accountable on that. All right. So morning motivation today. Cool beans. Morning motivation. You cannot be an activist if you are too busy acting and wanting to be bigger than your message, as everything you do is for selfish gain. This is not what activism looks like. It's about the people. Take the mask off and let me see what you're really doing. I don't think I wrote this. It says AL and I forget who the person was, but those were not my words. I wrote, Amen. We are at our core who we are at our core has no choice but to come slithering out behind the fake platitudes and oily smiles. Don't do it to yourselves. I see you. We see you. People who stay in an authentic place never have to seek affirmation or tear others down to make themselves seem better than anyone else. Our spirits speak long before we open our mouths. Remember that and act accordingly. I chose this because in recent weeks, days, actually months, I'm thinking of the sister, Keisha Hudson Brooks, who was the chief defender of the Defenders Association, who has put her entire career, everything on the line, just speaking up about ICE, fighting to get immigration lawyers in the courtrooms to help people who are coming in to do their paperwork. We need to learn a lot more about immigration, because I realize that you think either you're a citizen or you're illegal. That's not how that works. There's a process, an intensive process. Many people come here through the legal channels. They have opted to get their green card so they can have permanent residency here, and they're not citizens. They've chosen not to become citizens. Nobody should be pushed out because they've chosen not to become citizens of this country. They're citizens of other places. They're held on to that citizenship. They're here legally. They pay taxes. They do all the things. They can go out and get their, what's that thing? Real ID. You just have to prove who you are. Then, in order for you to become a citizen in this country, it takes months, sometimes years of legal, going through the courtrooms, courthouses, through a lawyer, depending on what your situation is. The cost for getting your permanent residency and to become a citizen, thousands of dollars. So I need us to become more aware and aligned that there are countries. My daughter and I were talking about this last night. There are countries who are have made agreements with the United States that a certain amount of people can come here. These people all come here legally. And then there are people who come here because they're struggling so much in their countries, or they're fearing death, etc. We tend to think of immigration as people illegally crossing the border. That is not what that is. And so I need us. I'm going to find someone who would be well versed in having this conversation with us about the real deal around immigration, so that we stop saying things like they need to just get the illegals out. That is not how that works. And I recognize that that is happening because no one has really explained or said to anyone, this is what immigration really is about. Are you aware that President Barack Obama deported more immigrants than any other president up until before this one right here that we have right now? Right? He was doing it. People were but they were doing it quietly, and they were doing it legally, and they were doing it in a way, even though people were still fussing and saying, why are you doing X, Y, and Z? It was still happening. So I posted a piece with Larry Krasner this morning from our conversation yesterday about ICE in the city of Philadelphia. And it precipitated this morning motivation, because there's a lot of folks now, because they see Larry Krasner, Rochelle Bilal, city council members standing up vocally, having the conversation, and they see the sister, Keisha Hudson Brooks from the Defenders Association. They've been going at it from all of a sudden now. We see folks trying to pretend like we're concerned and putting forward, what's the word I'm trying to use? Putting forward language to say that they know is not going to pass in the House anywhere in Pennsylvania, but just to make it look like they're trying to do something now. I want you to know we see you. We absolutely see you. If you don't have courage, it takes courage every day for people now in the way this country has been going to get up and report the news. It takes courage. CBS News has turned into Fox News Point 2. It is the most incredible thing to witness, because somebody capitulated, somebody got afraid and says, we've got to do this or we're going to lose X, Y, Z. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. That's the problem that we're having right now. And so don't try to piggyback now. What you do is you go to the people that are actually doing the diggity dang work and say, how can I fully support you in an authentic way that leads to something that will fully support the people? That part. The time we're in now, no one can sit down and pretend like we can't say or do anything. This time that we're in now is predicated upon each and every one of us using our voices in some way, shape, or form. That's where we are. And so Philadelphia is now in the national and internet. I have seen more conversation about the district attorney, like people from across the states around the country are asking the questions and saying, how come we can't do that the way Philadelphia is doing that? Are they going to get everything right? No. Make Will they have to pivot on some ways? Yes. But at least they opened their mouth and said something. At least. So let me leave the leadership alone for a minute and then come back to you and I in our everyday lives. Every single day, we get the opportunity to create changes for people in and around us. Every single day, in small ways, in large ways. And so, in order for us to grow, in order for us to continue to be in a space where we can make decisions that will not just impact our lives, but other people, we have to be willing to change. I said this yesterday on the air. We have to be willing to grow and move and change. If you are the person today that you were 10 years ago, you didn't do ish, but, have a bunch of birthdays. Because we fear moving and doing anything beyond what's our comfort zone. If you want to stay in your comfort zone, go for it. No one's taking you out of that. But staying there means that you're not moving. You're not doing a thing with yourself other than just being in your comfort zone. So 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, when I kept saying, this is going to happen, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming, I'm not getting calls because it's happening. People going, but Andrea said that 4 years ago. Andrea said that last year. All it requires is for us to read, to absorb, to pay attention to everything that's going on around us, and not be. And hear me. I want us to find our spaces of joy. I do. We all need to, because if you stay under constant stress, stress kills, and that is not what we want to do. But I want you to find your sources of peace and joy, and continue to do your research and ask the questions, and listen to those who are putting their bodies and themselves on the line to make sure you get the answers you need. People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to, be blackballed from X, Y, and Z, but history will remember them kindly. History will. And while this is not the 1960s, this is just another chapter in what life is looking as America shifts and changes. Where are you falling on that spectrum? When I crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge, one of the things the then park ranger said to me was, and I laughed. In retrospect, he said, a lot of folks come through here, very wealthy people, and they've all offered to do something to help this town. And they were all stopped and told, you better not put a dime into this town. Wealthy, wealthy people. And then I went to, this is why I tell you all to travel, ask questions. Then I went to the museum that Brian Stevenson has. He was building the newer one, which is now open, but we'd gone to the one that was currently in place. And when I looked at the wall of Black people that had created changes for folks in the United States and beyond, there were several faces missing. I looked at my travel partners and I said, what you want to bet? And I mean, well-known faces that you all know and you hail and you do all the things. I walked up to one of the people in the museum and I said, what you want to bet that the people who are not on the wall, the notable people that are missing, were the ones who sold out the ones who were actually doing the work and got them assassinated? And she looked at me and smiled. A few months ago, right here in Philadelphia, Brian Stevenson was doing something with Lions. Wait, let me just make sure I get this right, because my brain doesn't always hold on to this stuff. And Lion Story. I believe it's Lion Story, where I actually signed up for a leadership session, a 3-day leadership session. And I walked up to him and I said, sir, I went to visit your museum. I saw this, this, and this. I said, my thoughts were that the people who were famous now in society that are not on the wall are the ones that sold out, the ones that were assassinated. He said, absolutely correct. We have a saying, a moniker, that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. There have been a lot of Black folks, because they wanted to remain popular, because they wanted to, be part of the in crowd, that have sold out their people, and allowed for the leaders to be assassinated, either out of jealousy, out of spite, out of you name the thing, out of being promised something or another. Right? So be very mindful about who is around you and what they're saying and how they're doing too. So what I'm going to say about that, Cherie is here. Let's go on to the lighter topic, shall we? Let me get her in here. Hold on.
I think it's not out.
Good morning, darling.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I was talking about Tracy this morning.
Oh, well, he can hear you.
Well, Tracy, honey, I was telling.
Working man in New Jersey.
Wait. I was so let me talk to him for a second. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, dear. How are you?
I'm good. I started the show by telling people, talking about how Black men are constantly berated about not doing this and not doing that. And I use you as an example for shoveling all that ice and snow, that you're an entrepreneur, that you have more than one source of income. And that as a Black man, we need to see not just you, but all the Black men that are out here holding it down. So now that you're listening, thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sis. I appreciate
you. Just know we see you. And then you're politically active. Either listen, the Black Cassidy, you just out there going, we're not doing that this time. I'm watching you. I may not say a whole lot because I'm constantly moving and shaking, but my brother, you're a shining example of what is possible and what is being done that is not being spoken about too often in our community. So thank you.
Thank you, sis. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I think it's the desire for us to speak on the negative things. Those are the things that get a lot of the elevation and spotlight. But yeah, I got a good husband.
Yes, you do.
I do.
So
you don't get nothing for me.
So let me introduce you properly. Let me introduce you properly to the people because, we get to talking. Cherie Syfax is a mother, wife, entrepreneur, podcast host, and owner of Booker's Restaurant, co-owner of Booker's Restaurant and Bar in West Philadelphia. We talk every Thursday about love, right? Particularly Black love in our community. And this week is no different. I am just grateful that we have a space where we can lighten things up. We're always talking about the oh my God, this is Paris is burning, Philly is burning, Lord, the world is burning. Then we get to talk about.
I try not to. I know that stuff is out there and it's necessary, and there are times when Tracy and I will say, "Look at this craziness," But there's also times when I'm just like, I'm not. You can put the chicken in the refrigerator. That I'm not the chicken. Put the chicken in the refrigerator. That I don't. I can't. Because if we give way to that, then that just will be our constant. And I already have challenges that we're dealing with, right? I mean, so when it snows really bad like this, that really cuts our whole restaurant down. So I have to be. I get frustrated. I'm like, God, can it snow on Tuesday instead of Sunday? That's all. It could snow. I know it needs to snow, but can it snow on Tuesday instead of Sunday? Because we just can't sustain being closed on Sunday. So we definitely have questions, those pivots that we have to make. We have to be thinking about the next thing that we're going to do and where we have to show up and how do we expand other businesses and how do we make sure that when one thing's down, the other things are up. So we have to be constantly thinking about that. To your point about Tracy and politics, we're, running and helping with a mayoral campaign, so we're running interference there. And, unfortunately, that's a whole nother topic, but men, our men, I'm asking our Black men to be neutral and supportive of our Black women. Part of the reason why we are in this chaos now is because we had too many Black men that just could not vote, and people in general. I'm not indicting Black men. You don't have to tell me I was the second biggest voting bloc, none of that. But there was a lot of conversation on the internet. So I don't know how many people that ended up being, but there was a lot of conversation on the internet about negativity around women in leadership. And we could have just voted for that Black girl and engaged. And
they did vote for the Black girl. The voting machines got a little funny. Numbers were, you already know they voted for the black
All I'm
lady.
saying is that the young lady that we're supporting, you already got people saying she's cute, but she can't this. So
Oh,
let's not do that. Let's have more substantive conversations around women in leadership. Let's challenge if we want to challenge. I'm not saying that we have to go everywhere, but let's do it in a way, the same way that we engage with male leaders.
mm-hmm.
But anyway, so we have so many other things going on that I just don't even have the time. Sometimes I'm like, I can't believe we're living in this. I really can't.
Yes.
I,
Yeah,
I, I do
but see,
I
you're
do I do I do wonder for the people who they did the spotlight in Philadelphia on our people who were voting in that direction. I'm wondering how they're feeling, or do they feel like they got what they voted for? I am curious about that
yeah.
because of that is why some of my other challenges exist. The economy, has impacted certain parts of our business. The federal government and the way we do contracts has affected parts of our business. So I don't have the luxury of leaning into that too much. I just remind Chase, I'm like, where's our safety? Where's our safety backpacks? And just remembering that, and putting our money in our goals, and and stuff like that. So I just refuse to let that consume me, because there's just other things that I have to lean into, my grandbabies, all the things. So
all the
yeah.
things, all the things. But what I love
Hmm.
about you guys is that you are working and plotting, working and planning, working, and you're not just sitting still and watching all these. Who was the woman running for office in New Jersey? Who was she?
So she's running for mayor in Trenton. So and most people, I don't know if most people know that Trenton is the state capital. So her name is Jossie Edwards. She's a current sitting councilwoman. Tracy has known her for over half of her life. I met her when I met Tracy. Obviously, they
Mhm.
were protesting. She had just finished. She and another young man
Mhm.
had gone downtown when they had the Rodney. I'm not Rodney King. I'm going way
Mhm.
back, when they had the George Floyd riots, and literally was begging
Mhm.
people not to destroy downtown.
Mhm.
But in 2012, she had a family member killed, and
Mhm.
she organized. I'm at the age like 25 or 22 or something like that. She organized this Stop the Violence march across all four wards of the city, and it culminated at City Hall. And she had people speak, Tracy, and things like that. She worked for 10 years in Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman's office as a constituents liaison, so has worked with dealing with the needs of the city and its
Okay.
constituents. And now she works for the county and is a council person. So,
You have said enough to me, and this show reverberates everywhere. It's not a Philly show; it's a national show. Give me her people's information so we can introduce her here ourselves,
okay.
right? And we'd love to talk to her and get to know who she is, and and figure out, just like we're doing for Congress and all the other things. We want to talk to the people who are running for office, and she sounds like someone who's about the business of being about the business.
Oh,
All right.
absolutely. Or we would not be
Yeah.
supporting her.
All right.
We
Well,
would
well,
not.
well. Listen. Send that information ASAP. I'll give it to my producer. We will have her on this show.
I
Okay.
would love that. And she would
Okay.
too. And she will,
Okay.
represent well.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, who child? Jimmy, there are days when I'm just like, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah. Oh, somebody asked me, how are those Jersey streets? The streets are good. It's just still a lot of snow on the
Oh, it
slopes.
is.
It's just
It is.
because unless Tracy teaches me about all that stuff, unless they they reassign the snow and take it from one
Right.
place to another, so the streets are good.
Mm-hmm.
The streets are
Mm-hmm.
good. It's just the kind of like going into the sidewalks. Like I went out for the first time yesterday. You went to the bank. I had to go up to the corner to get to a part
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
pathway that I go into the bank. So there's still some challenges there, but the streets are fine. Now, the East Coast does know how to clean up some streets. I will say that. I
To
will
the
say
best
that.
of their
Yeah,
ability.
your main arteries, your main corridors, all those things are
Yeah.
fine. But I
The
mean, it
struggle.
is. It
Yeah,
is
this
snow up to here.
it
Tracy
is.
worked all the way until yesterday
Mm,
because he has
yeah.
hotels and things like that. So every
Mhm,
so up, you're making sure people are digging themselves out and you're
mhm,
moving the snow and the snow banks and things are melting. So they got to
mhm.
resalt and I know all about snow management.
But you know what's so interesting in this vortex that we're in? Because it's 9 degrees right now. So it just keeps, it's a sheet of ice. Usually, when it snows, within a day or two, it starts to melt and all the water goes, right?
Yep.
I just said right. This snowstorm, it came, it dumped, and it's just piling up wherever we are.
And it's frozen.
So it's difficult. There's nowhere to walk on the sidewalks. There's nowhere to put the damn
Hmm.
snow.
There's nowhere to put it.
So it has gotten interesting out here. And in several states, Delaware, I'm hearing is pretty bad too. So anybody who wants to work, this should be a good opportunity for you. Get
Yeah,
and
we
go
have
do
a
what you
couple
need to do
friends
this
who
week.
they're young people. You
Mhm,
know, I hear young people used to always do snow. I'm not a snow girl.
mhm,
I'm a California girl, but but we have a couple friends who are doing snow. So anytime someone asks, we make sure that those young entrepreneurs
mhm,
know, get the opportunity to
mhm,
do the business. So
mhm.
yeah, but hey, I am so glad you have that there is that. And I keep saying so my apologies. I keep seeing this um meme that says if you're shoveling snow, you don't have a man, or I don't know what it is.
Well,
I've never
why is
shoveled
that?
I've
Okay,
never I've never shoveled snow. So I don't, and when I had a
but
man or
but
did,
but but
I've
but
never
but
shoveled.
but here's the other thing, Cherie. I need us to stop that foolishness because I have a great man in my house. He shovels the snow, and I'm out there with him. I enjoy shoveling the snow. That's my thing. David Alexander Jenkins says I refuse to pick up a shovel.
I did
It just depends on people's,
I have I haven't had to, and I don't. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't. I don't even think about my husband. My husband does everything. And I've dated some decent men since I've been east, and
mm,
so I have not had to shovel snow. But that's not to say. I mean, like I went out with Tracy on Sunday just
mhm,
because it has snowed almost every weekend, and
mhm.
that's our time. And so I'm like, well, shoot. If it keeps snowing, I won't have time with him. So I
Yeah, so
hop to
go
the
ahead
truck.
and be at. Yep.
And so, some people may be like, I can't believe she got out there. And, and I mean, no
This
one
is
said
why.
that, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
people think relationships or marriages or whatever are these absolutes. It's sometimes women do things because they want to and
Hmm.
not because they have to. Um,
Yep.
you can pay someone to shovel snow, but
Yep.
sometimes people want that as their
That's
workout
exactly for
because
me.
some people
Yes.
aren't not walking now, or maybe you're not going to the gym or whatever the things are. So
Hmm.
yeah, women don't get an option. Either we have a man who's
Oh,
doing
go
all the
ahead
things, like, or we don't. But we don't get a middle ground. We don't get
Wow.
we don't
Yeah.
get an option. And the funny thing is the people that usually post those types of things are single.
I saw a post yesterday about women. I don't understand. Well, you keep saying that you don't need a man, and there were a bunch of I don't need him because it's more peaceful in my life. And I'm saying to myself, we are getting older as human beings. We need relationships with each other. And while it is nice to um, be in a space where you don't have to worry about a man or anybody else getting on your nerves, we get lonely as human beings. But this bravado, this insistent bravado that we don't need anybody. I got my own house. I got paid for my own. I make 6 figures. I don't need that. Blah, blah, blah. Why do we do that, Cherie? I don't get it.
I think that because sometimes we're on the defensive. If we haven't been able to have a successful relationship, we defend and we're on the defensive. I also believe that if we are in a situation where we don't have someone, that
Mhm,
is a justification, or at least it satisfies
mhm,
some of the people asking questions, because you can just say, I don't have a man, I don't want a man, or I
mhm,
don't need a man. So I think that also saves face.
mhm,
I believe that it if you haven't been able to navigate healthy relationships, then it is your alibi, so to speak,
mhm,
because a lot of times in successful relationships, as you know, there's compromise, there's sacrifice, there's give and take. And some people don't know how to do that, or refuse to do that. So
Mhm.
they can mask or say, hey, I
Mhm.
don't want a man. That's why I don't have one.
Mhm.
Versus, you know what, maybe there's some modifications or some adjustments that I need to make in order to have one. And I use myself as an example. I had a man, I always have a man, but didn't always have a good man. That was my problem. And and like my ex before before I left California was doing all the things in all the ways that he should not have been, but he was not romantic with me. He did not like buy me flowers, and I used to be telling my girlfriends, I don't need no flowers, that's just not a big deal. But that can be a sign or an outward expression of like affection and
Mhm.
appreciation. And then I get with Tracy, and we get flowers all the, I mean, the other guys that I dated too, since I've been east, they were good at that. But usually we have flowers in our house every week. Like we
Mhm.
just, because it's a sign of life, and the color is beautiful and all the
Mhm.
things. And I'm glad that we have flowers down at the restaurant. And so, I had kind of forced myself to play into this narrative that I didn't need something. It was because I wasn't getting it. And so my
Mhm.
defense mechanism was to say I didn't need it. But the
Mhm.
reality is I did need it. I just wasn't getting it. And um I didn't want to rock the boat enough to be like, hey, you haven't gotten me flowers. I didn't want that to be the reason that we
Mhm.
had some disagreement or had to have a hard conversation or what have you. So I've been on that side of critiquing or justifying. And so I know what that comes from. It stems from you not getting what you need, or you not wanting to make the sacrifices that it requires to have a good and healthy, thriving relationship. So as, again, a defense mechanism, you say you don't need it. And you
Mhm.
speak loudly about it often.
Loud and proud too.
Loud and yeah, loud and proud.
So let me read. Marguerite just talked about the fact she's always shovel snow because it ups the cardio, and it's a really great cardio exercise. So for someone like me who has been consistently working out over the years, that's great cardio. Plus, I love putting, doing. I did an angel thing in the snow the other day. My husband's looking at me like I'm crazy. I do extra, because and it helps in this snow, this particular snowfall that we had. You literally can have a heart attack with it. This shit is heavy, right?
Mm. Of
Someone
course.
says you left a man because you didn't buy you
Oh,
flowers.
no, I left him because he was a cheater. But no. But he didn't buy me flowers too.
So, Charmaine says I could use a man, any man, to help bust this ice up in my car. I help him. Just let him show up. Let's see. Companionship is a beautiful thing. Carla says we are a relational people. We need each other.
We do.
Absolutely. Essence says it's still pretty bad out here. I help my husband shovel our properties because I do not want my husband to having a heart attack and freezing to death. Love comes in all ways. 10 freaking toes down. Say it, Essence. Tell the
Absolutely.
people, honey. Tell the
Absolutely.
people.
I haven't,
Uh,
and and when I'm out with them during doing our snow business, I don't shovel anything, but I run in and I get the signature, and I mean, I do my part. I do my
you,
part. We out there
you
together.
do the cute part, running in to get the signature.
Hey, it's still getting out there in that 10 degrees weather.
you,
I do my part.
you crack me
And
up.
Tracy is a
Sharon,
man's man. Like he
yeah,
is a
Sharon
man's man.
writes,
So
yeah,
he is like, you don't even need to come out here. Like he is that
yeah,
person.
yes, yes.
Um,
Oh, my husband
so
tries. He goes, Andrea, go. I was looking at him like, now you know I like playing in the snow. Leave me alone. And so I play in the snow. David says the only thing I like about snow is to look at it. Of course you would. She says I don't like shoveling, but I have to do it. ECB says I even once got the wife a birthday cake that said thanks for putting up with. Yeah, relationships are interesting. Are
mhm,
interesting.
mhm.
It's we talk a good game, but in the end of the day, when stuff is going down and it's just the two of you in the house, and you're looking at each other, you're going, all right, how are we going to handle this? Versus being by yourself and going, all right, how am I going to fix this?
Yeah,
There is
I
a
do.
vast difference.
I do like having someone else to be navigating
Mm-hmm.
life's peaks and valleys. I
Mm-hmm.
love having someone to be able to be there and celebrate with me. And then I also, love having someone being there that when we're in the
Mm-hmm.
valley, figuring out what our way getting back
Mm-hmm.
up to the peak is.
Yeah.
So I definitely do value relationship in that way,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. My husband and I have a very good relationship. He's always tried to I'll take out the trash if he has to work until 10 o'clock at night. He'll come home and the trash is already taken out. I'm not going to sit there and go, the man is exhausted, he's pulled a 14-hour day, but I'm sitting at home eating bonbons. And we work that way. When he got sick and he was in the hospital and I had to come home and take out the trash, I started to cry. All the
Hmm.
things. He would lock up the house, turn on the alarm, make sure everything was secure, make sure all that. I had to do all of that. And I remember sitting there with my little bowl of soup and I cried like a baby because I'd gotten so accustomed to having someone do all the things, with me,
Hmm.
for me, and
Hmm.
we do it
Yeah.
together. So there's something to be said about having someone with you and beside you all the time. It makes a difference. I believe my life is markedly different because he is in it. And
I
so
I feel the exact same way.
yes, yes. Do your work, right?
I said, take me like they did at the Notebook. I want us both to just lay down and not wake up. I do not want to live without my husband.
Well, I keep telling my husband we're not gonna die together. That would be a stroke of luck. So he's gonna have to figure it out if I die before him. He's like, well, I'm just gonna die. He's like, I'm not gonna, what the hell am I? You came up in here and changed my whole life. So
Hmm.
I can't even imagine. I would have to move. He said, I'm done. It was so funny. Eloise says relationships are definitely give and take. Pivoting in marriage is a constant. It is, Eloise. You have to constantly pivot, constantly. And Carla says, and for us women need a man, and us women need men for those areas that women are taken advantage of in certain places of business, such as the auto body shop, purchasing a car, etc. Yep, 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 yep. But again, my husband will tell you the people at the body shop, the dealership will call and say, Mrs. Sanders, your husband said you said to change this, and we're telling him it needs to be changed at a certain amount of miles, and he said, I'm not going back home with her car that you didn't change. Go change it. And when they changed it, it was dirty. Because if you're paying attention to what you're doing, you can sense the difference in the cabin of your car, etc. But again, that comes from my really good daddy, right? Who is in his 80s that is still checking in to make sure we're okay. We learned how to change the brakes. We learned how to change the oil. I made my mother crazy. But my father said, if you know your car, you'll be less likely to be taken advantage of. We didn't have to do it. We didn't have to do the things. He just told us how to do it, showed us how it is done. So that if something doesn't feel right or seem right, you can go back and talk about it. I bought all my cars up until the time I married Mr. I haven't bought a car of my own since. He was like, I'll do it. I was like, what? And I love the idea of going in there and go, blah, blah, blah. But he said, nope, I haven't bought another car. It's him. So there are things that he wants to do that push me out of the process, but it's nice. It's
Yeah.
nice.
I haven't even. I don't deal with our cars either. But I
Mm.
will say, I tell my girlfriends, and we laugh about this all the time. Because Tracy's like, you don't need a car. I'll take you everywhere you need to go. And sometimes I'll be like, help me, because I do. Sometimes I do want to be
You are
independent.
incorrigible. You know that, right?
I'm like, my girlfriends be cracking up. They're like, girl. I'm like, yeah, I am. Yeah. There's
Mm.
a certain independence that I had before we got married that I do miss at times. Um,
Oh, look
but
what came out your mouth. We have it on record.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just like, I just, I just wish I could just go hop and do my thing.
I
So
hop and go. What? So say more about that, because I hop and
there,
go do my thing all the time. Well, say more about that.
there
What's
are
that
those
thing that
things,
you want to
there's
hop
those
and go do?
moments. Sometimes it's anything. Again, I was married at 51, so I
Mm.
had a long stretch of just, making decisions on my own. And so now I
Mm.
have to make them in collaboration with someone. Now
Mm.
there's, Tracy's like, hey, we're going to have one house. We only need one car because I can take you where you need to go. If
Mm.
he's gone, or if we haven't coordinated our schedules where I'm like, hey, I need this
And
for
you stuck
this, or
like Chuck.
then I'm just at home, stuck. Um, and so it requires that we engage in coordination. Sometimes my girlfriends are like, hey, we're doing this da 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 for so and so's birthday. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing it. And Tracy rarely ever tells me that I can't do something like that, but he would prefer before I commit that we have a conversation. And I'm all like, I'm all in. So
Not
that you have
living
to
by
remember.
yourself, Cherie. You're not living
Yeah,
by
you have to
yourself.
remember that you have to engage. But we'll be married 5 years. I cannot believe 5 years in May, and the time is going by, and
Mm-hmm.
and there's adjustments, but there are no adjustments or no compromises that I haven't felt have been valid, beneficial, and worth
Mm-hmm.
doing for just kind of
Yeah.
my overall quality of life. And so I look at our grandkids and I'm just like, we get to be this example for them. We get to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that they will have a very different life than even
Mm-hmm.
their parents had because of things that we've acquired. And so it is wonderful. But
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I just want to go ahead and get in my car.
I was I was telling a friend of mine the other day that I went to my husband and said to him, I'd like to get such and such and such, and you know, is it okay for me to pull it from this account? And she stopped and looked at me and she started to get offended, and I said, I'm in a marriage. When we pool our monies together and we know we have things to pay and things to do, we don't just go out here and unilaterally spend the coins because we have it. You sit down and you discuss, this is what I'd like to do, is that okay in this moment? He looks at me and he says, what? Of course. As if, why the hell are you asking me? But it's a form of respect, and there may be things going on that I don't even realize that needs to be done, et cetera, et cetera, instead of me going out there and spending money. So there's a trip happening this weekend. I can't go because I've got a major event on Sunday and a bunch of other things going on. But the trip was going to be $800. And I was like, I'm not spending that kind of money right now. Da, 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 da. My husband looked at me and said, go. I actually said to him, I'm not going. I'm not going
Hmm.
because there's too many other things going on. But the fact that he was, just go. I'm like, do you see what's going on in this country, bro? We got children, we got grandchildren. He said, but Andrea, your peace of mind, your blood pressure is too high. When you were able to get in the car and just drive and do whatever you want to do or go where you wanted to go, you were okay. The fact that you're sitting still and absorbing all of the people's things,
That all
it's
this
a
was happening.
lot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot, right? So it's
Well, I'll be gone
listen,
this week for my birthday because
yeah.
Monday was my birthday. So,
Happy
uh,
birthday. We did say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy
it's your birthday. It's your birthday.
birthday.
It's your birthday.
Happy
It's
birthday to you, dear
your
Jenny. Happy birthday. So yeah, I know. I usually
birthday.
go away for my birthday too, and I was home.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, like I get to go away for my birthday with my girlfriends, and we're gonna
Mhm.
see New Edition in LA, and I'll
Yes,
see
yes.
friends, and so I get to do all those things without a
Mm,
thought, without a
mm,
pushback, without anything,
mhm,
and I appreciate that,
mhm.
um, because you know,
Yeah, but that comes when
somebody said
you
what 23? No, I turned 56 Monday. Yeah, 56, and I can't believe.
you're aging like fine Gouda cheese.
I'm 4 years away from 60. When I was young,
Mhm,
I thought 45 was old. Like, oh, maybe because of people
mhm.
wearing polyester. But I
Mm.
used to be like, oh, they old. Now I'm in the age range where I was calling
Yes,
people old. But
ma'am.
I feel really good. I feel really good. Like I said, Tracy and I go out and work out. I mean, we haven't worked out this past week because he's been plowing, but we work out and I do my
Mhm,
Pilates, and
mhm.
we walk across the park when the weather is good. And I love the simplicity on this side
Mhm.
of my life. We
Yes.
got a lot of complexity as well, but it's good to
Mhm,
have a partner that does it with you.
mhm.
Yeah.
And in order to get to that space, you have to heal yourselves. You have to do your own inner work. It's hard. It's difficult. My
Hmm.
husband says, stop saying the word hard. It's challenging. And so, but when you do the work to healing, then everything that you see when another person comes along, oh, see, that's why I'm not in a relationship because blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to stop using those barriers and challenge yourself. Why do I retreat when a good man comes my way, when any man comes my way? Why do I retreat? Because I've gone through this with this one and that. We've all had issues. Cherie has written about hers. I have told you about mine. We've all gone through some stuff. Jamaica is 47 degrees this weekend, Laura. So you know. Um, so we have to just do the work and the compromising and the collaboration and understanding that you're not in this thing by yourself and mistakes are going to be made and one or both of you will be angry at the same time or at different times. It's a ton of work. There's infidelity in marriages. There's money issue. Let me tell you, money, biggest thing in marriages, huge. Where folks are just spending money willy nilly while the other one's trying to pull everything in. You know, there are issues in marriages with family members. There are issues on sickness and in health, richer for poorer. We tend to
Yeah,
think about the
I didn't say
wedding and we
that
don't think
before.
about the life.
I was like richer for richer. I really do not speak about poor at
You
all.
are
Like,
hilarious.
the word just does not come out of my mouth because I just don't believe that I was created to be poor. And so I don't. I don't. So, but we have a certain amount of money that we can give to our kids without talking to each other. We've agreed on that. We have, all of our big purchases, we absolutely have conversations about. So we've made some agreements around some baseline things, with money. And then I handle everything else, which is also another, like, Tracy trusts me on a level that I probably haven't trusted anybody else, like to handle every single penny that comes into our coffers, like from all the places. And he does, I do a lot of the biz dev and marketing and relationship stuff for the restaurant, but he does, like, goes out and does all the other work that, keeps us, living. And whether it's investments, whether it's all the things, and sometimes that feels like pressure because I'm like, shoot, if I make the wrong move and the house comes down, that's on me. But yeah, he trusts me in every single way that I would not, because I was on my own for so long that I don't know that I would trust another human being to manage my money, all my money, everything. If something happened, I have to write, I'm like, I need a spreadsheet with every single account and all the things, because if something happened to me, he would be like, what's going on? So to have someone trust you in that way is also exceptional. I am married to an exceptional human being, and I say that all the time. He gets on my nerves. There's things that I don't like. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I love my husband all the time, but I don't always like my business partner. But but Tracy is an exceptional human being on so many levels, because he could just be so different. He could be a whole different person based on his life experiences. Yeah. And he's just so kind and so gentle and so giving and so humble and all those things.
Oh Lord. Tell people what's going on this week with Bookers. And the 6th, February 6th is when the group and I are going to come. So I'll let you know. I know Viola and Beatrice already said that they wanted to come. If y'all want to come, y'all let me know. Don't wait till the last second, because I don't do last minute stuff. So we can know how many people will be there. So we'll come to support the restaurant that weekend.
Oh, we love that. Yeah, so normal stuff, we did modify our hours this week, 12 to 8, but I think we're going back to our normal hours today, if I'm not mistaken. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow for sure. We have a great artist on tomorrow night, Maya Simone. She has such great energy. So if you feeling a little cabin fever and want to get out, please do. Kids 12 and under eat free. So if it's a family and you have a child and you kind of want to do something with the family, but things are tight, 12 and under, eat free. Obviously Valentine's Day is coming up. So we are doing a campaign on Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day. We are including everybody, because everybody wants to feel love and go out and all the things and the beauties that Valentine's Day is a whole weekend. So we have, our normal music on Friday. We'll have brunch specials, but we'll have a violinist on Saturday for brunch, and
Mhm.
then dinner, of course, will be our whole Valentine's prefix, all the things.
Mhm.
We also have a group, Rosewood. They'll be playing at the Bayou, so it'll be the menu at Booker's, but then you'll have like real full on entertainment there, and it'll be very, very sexy. And then Sunday we'll have, any overflow from Valentine's Day. So excited to have Valentine's Day on a full blown weekend. But our normal stuff,
Hold on, I'm
10 to
looking because
10
Carla is
every day.
asking what day for Booker's. I believe February. Wait, I'm sorry, Carla. It's the 7th. February 7th. That's Saturday, or the 8th on Sunday, whichever one works for both. Which is the best time to come, Cherie? February 7th or the 8th?
Girl, anytime you're spending money is the right time to come. There is not a day that we don't that the money is any different than any other
When do
day.
you have the 3 course for $45?
Sunday night.
Sunday. Okay, so then Carla, it will be the 8th, because some people will be able to afford, buy whatever they want, and some people would want the men.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an option,
Yes.
where you have a shared appetizer, the meal, and then the dessert.
Yes.
And then obviously we usually have specials too. Lately
Yeah.
we've had whole bronzino, and we've had lamb chops lately, and our
Well,
shrimp
just let
Caesar.
them know Marvel's coming for the whole bronzino. Okay,
Okay, let me make
that's
sure.
my
So the 8th, make sure we have
yes,
it.
so the 8th, yes. So it's going to be Sunday the 8th. You all decide. Let me know how many of you would like to attend so we can go support this small business. The restaurant has, because of the snow over the last few weekends, it's been kind of tough. So let's go support the people. Okay?
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. And just remember, Black History Month is coming up. So if you have any places that you work that cater, Marguerite, love you. Thank you. We have our event space. If you have any events that you want to do, not just Black History Month every month, but Black History Month is coming. So there's a lot of, businesses, churches, places that are looking for businesses to support, to have Black History programs or networking or things like that. So yeah, 5021 Baltimore Avenue. We are there all the time.
All right. So right now I have Carla, Marguerite, Charmaine, Braxton, Viola, Beatrice, myself. It's the 8th, Essence, and it's probably going to be around 5 o'clock. Is that all right? Look at me making reservations on the air.
I'm not mad at you. Take all my time.
All right, so Essence, I'm going to add you just in case, right? And then we'll go from there. No, Charmaine. Okay, all right.
The event space is right next door. So we have the restaurant, or the event space is right next door.
Oh, and Laura. Okay, so I'm going to reserve a table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, me, 8. I'm going to reserve a space for 10. It probably will be about 15, 20, but just to be on the safe side, I'll let you know. All right.
And Tracy and I will try to. Tracy and I will try to make sure we are there.
Yes. Jasenia, yeah. Make it for a table for 15, please.
Okay.
Because we're up to 10. And listen, y'all, don't say you're coming and don't come. Because Marvel will give you the side eye. Unless it's snowing. Well, the food is amazing. Oh, my God. I love that you have that quality control, girl. Because the food popping. Yes, honey. Who was that? Oh, Mary May. Okay. All right, Mary May. I'm adding you onto the list. I'm writing this down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That doesn't even include me. 11. So yeah, make it a table for 15 to 20, please.
Okay.
They'll show up. All right. Lisa Joel's. Oh, yes, that's okay, Carla. Absolutely. It's about to be a bunch of sisters. Whoo, child. Hope you have a table long enough. But that's what we do, right? When we know that we can shift and change the lives of people simply by showing up, that's what we do. That's what we do.
That's what we have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, ECB said we can't, but wish we could. Well, whenever you come down to Philly, honey, call us first, right? Wait, I know Laura.
Right. The 8th is Super Bowl. I forgot about that.
Well, then all the women will be there. The men can stay home and thank the Lord it's the Super Bowl. We will be right there with you all. Because my husband acts like a bleeding goat in here. I can't. So this will be a nice respite for those of us who want to go on out.
That is true, especially since
yes,
the Eagles or the Niners aren't in it.
Yeah, right. And we're not in it. So you know, if the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, we'd say, all right, we need to cancel that for another day. But the Eagles are not in it. We're going to go ahead and enjoy ourselves and wear our Eagles green in the meantime. She says we're going to pack it out. Well, I'm up to 12 people at this point. Essential. So wait, Charmaine, Margarita, Lord God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 myself. All right, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Its food is good. My darling, thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to do that at the end of our segment.
Yeah.
So do I need to call in or will you and Tracy set it up for us for the 8th?
Oh, I got it.
Praise the Lord and pass the mustard seed. Whoo. I love it when a plan comes together. Yep, Mary Alyssa. I have you on the list, Mary Alyssa. This is so, it's not wonderful that we just all kind of show up in the spur of the moment. Beautiful,
I love
beautiful.
That. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Because we are.
Yeah. All right, my darling. Marva has appointments early this morning. I got to run out the door. Cherie, it's always a pleasure, my sister. Looking forward to having a conversation next Thursday and seeing you next Sunday. All right?
Love it.
All right, honey. This episode you're welcome, honey. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. This episode of Mornings with Marva is officially over. I am Andrea Lawful Sanders. I'll see you when I see you. Bye, everybody.